I think we're going to get this thing started. So, welcome to the CouncilCast. This is episode 109, being recorded on February 18th, 2020.
Catches me off guard every time you say a number over 100.
Well, the council is now in session. As with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit with little background and next to no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever, including the previous 100 plus episodes. So thank you for joining us this week on the CouncilCast. We appreciate you sticking with us for episode 109. It's been quite the run. So we're going to start off with riding the whip. Who wants to ride a whip to space? Because that's what Amazon thinks we should do.
This is the greatest headline we've ever had. Amazon patent imagines using a giant whip to yeet payloads into space.
I'm not gonna lie.
Correct usage of the term yeet. But I imagine that they would also like to Kobe it into place as well.
Yes.
Distance is important, but when you're going to space, I would assume so is where it ends up.
Minor details. I mean, it's only partially important. Let's get to space first, and then we'll figure out if we're in the right spot.
What is this?
So this is apparently Amazon filed a patent that basically shows a ship with a giant whip on it that is basically...
Look, they have diagrams of it, just like...
I like that there's a thing in the middle implying that there's like that little ribbon thingy. I assume that implies that there is much not shown distance.
Yes, that would be correct.
How long does this whip have to be to get up to yeetable speeds?
I don't think they explicitly go into the
It's
physics
got a patent.
behind it.
Let's read it.
But they basically are showing a giant cable attached to a ship that looks like a whip, and it apparently gets its whip.
Brian.
I'm not even sure how the hell this works. Like their whip shape is basically by drones. Like it's gonna have a bunch of drones attached to it, and it's gonna make a whip. And then you can.
Do you feel like they needed to get this patent out there so nobody else could get it?
The launch apparatus of Claim 1, wherein instructing the final aerial vehicle to release the payload, comprises releasing from the superconducting cable the final aerial vehicle together with the payload. It's just this long ass document about how it's gonna chuck it into outer space off the tip of a whip. What?
Right, but how? Somebody tell me how long this cable needs to be.
That's the best part about a patent is it doesn't have to be based in reality.
Is it's just like maybe.
Hey, just in case we ever come up with technology to whip something into outer space, we
got
own
a
it.
patent.
The word cable exists 561 times in the document.
I basically don't believe that this physically works today, but they're basically just like, yeah, I think this might work eventually, so let's patent it.
Just in case our planet is overrun by a race of giant beings who want to put our tiny spaceships on the end of their whips and fling it into space, we can charge them a tax and sue their asses for stealing our idea.
I like the idea better in this article that says it's not just whipping things into space, but maybe Amazon plans to use these whips to deliver packages to your house.
Or to keep their employees in check.
Yeah, there's a giant whip on every Amazon warehouse, and every other whip is one whip sending a package to your house and one whip to an employee.
Furthermore, the cable may include along its length a plurality of attachment or coupling points to which the aerial vehicles can selectively couple or decouple. In addition, or alternatively, The cable may be formed as multiple discrete sections that are each carried and/or retractable by one or more of the aerial vehicle's 120. That's referencing a thing. For example, the cable and/or the multiple discrete sections of the cable may have a combined length of up to approximately 50 miles or 500 miles.
Oh my god.
So it's going to be a 50 to 500 mile long
Cable. Nice.
whip.
In some implementations of the launch system, 100 having shorter cable lengths, much less than 500 miles. Only one aerial vehicle may be coupled to the second. Blah blah blah.
I don't really understand how the aerial vehicles work because, like, last time I checked, when I whip something, I don't have, like, it's all in the wrist. I don't have something else.
During the launch process, as described herein, the second end of the cable may reach, at its highest point, an altitude of up to approximately 500 feet, 2,000 feet, or 60 to 70,000 feet.
They're
Why
not
don't
quite
you-
sure how
At
far
that
this
point, why
whip's
don't
going to
you
go.
just say it could be anywhere from a distance of 70 feet to 8 million miles.
In addition, the payload may be launched at a speed up to, including, and/or exceeding the escape velocity from Earth,
So basically, any
e.g.,
speed possible.
approximately 25,000 miles per hour. What
Or the
the
speed of light, whichever
You know,
comes
it's
first.
fuck?
like maybe Bezos' nephew or something was like, "Hey, I want to get a patent on my idea to whip things to whip a spaceship into outer space because sometimes I whip stuff off the end of a string and it flies across the room." Yeah, sure, we'll take a patent out, put it in your name, Gur Kimchi.
Huh.
How do you come up with this idea?
Man, I don't know.
Acid trip.
Yeah, I have no idea how the hell this thing is supposed to work.
I believe it's a joke. I believe the whole thing is just like, hey, look at how much money we have, and look at how much time we have on our hands. Because
I don't know, man. It's hard to say.
do you think somebody really thinks that they're going to whip something into outer space?
I don't know, if
They
you're going to
they
pull this
created
kind
a
of
patent.
a prank, do it on April Fool's Day.
This is like the epitome of a patent that basically says this could be anything.
Oh, yeah. There was mention of this in show I was watching. Do you think that they took out a patent here so that anything that resembles whipping something into outer space, they can then say that they own the patent on it and that the people have to pay them money?
Yeah, I wonder, like, I wonder if you could use. How does this work? Like, you know those ball throwers for dogs that you make them go fetch? Like, that's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of a whip, and it throws things. Like,
An addle.
does
Yeah,
do you
an
think
addle
those
addle.
guys have a patent on that? I bet they do.
They probably do. Do you think that they could claim that Amazon stole
Stole their idea.
their idea and took out an illegal patent?
Well,
Seems-
there's no
You heard it
chain
here
with
first.
connections of addition. There's no cable, and it's not going to outer space. It's just going a few feet away so Fluffy can get it and bring it back. So
Yeah, but this is basically saying that it could be anywhere from a 0-foot long cable to a 500-mile-foot long cable. And it could make something travel at the speed of basically 0 to infinity.
infinity.
Well, I
warp
give it a
speed.
thumbs up because we need more shit whipped into space. That's my life motto. It's actually written on the wall right over here. I'd show you, but my computer can't move.
I give it a thumbs down because I think it's all about the wrist motion, and I don't see anything about a wrist in this patent.
Oh, let me Command F. Wrist. Yeah, no, there's not.
Yep, it's wrong.
Maybe they spelled it wrong. Wrist.
What's it cost to
RIST.
get is this a patent? What's it cost to get one?
They're not free.
Like $500. No.
It's not abnormally expensive though. Absurdly expensive.
Cost
I'm not really
other.
sure how to vote. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to say thumbs up because I'd like to see it happen. It seems like some kind of sci-fi thing that we'd watch and go, "That's weird. Who does that?"
$900 for a do-it-yourself application to between $5,000 and $10,000 with the help of a patent lawyer.
I'll bet it was 10,000.
I bet Amazon covers the fee.
I bet they made this guy do it himself for $900.
And then put it in their name.
They put it in their name.
Matt, you have any vote?
I don't know.
Thumbs up for space.
I don't know about this. Yeah, thumbs up for space, I suppose. That's the safest bet.
Well, once we finally figure out how to fling things into space, you might be able to launch a satellite to follow the Russians around, which is what the Russians are now doing to the U.S.
We're just gonna yeet a rock straight at this thing.
It might be the new space defense system. That's a good idea. But apparently that is not what's happening here. But apparently
A Russian inspection satellite. What is that?
It's a great question. We have no idea. So there's a Russian satellite that apparently is in space that was launched.
Two Russian satellites are stalking a U.S. spy sat in orbit.
Yep.
The Space Force is watching.
Well, something like that. We essentially have no idea what these guys are doing. Apparently, Russia launched a satellite a number of years ago and basically said, yeah, it's a satellite that inspects other satellites, because that doesn't seem weird. And now they apparently have this satellite change its orbit to match up with a satellite from the NRO, which specializes in surveillance and operates classified satellites. So now the satellite from Russia is following this guy. They're basically in a similar-ish orbit, and it's inspecting it, I guess, whatever the hell that means.
I don't know, man.
Dope.
Thumbs down.
This makes absolutely no sense. I have no idea what these guys are doing at this point in time.
This is so stupid.
I don't think you could hack into another satellite just based on your proximity.
It's like following it. It's like a kid brother. It's like
tailing you.
I'm not touching you.
It's on a stakeout. Just follow it anywhere it goes and tell us what happens. Yeah, it's still circling the Earth. I have no idea.
Like the movie The Spy Who Knew Too Little.
Yeah.
I bet you're right. There's probably like a little monkey inside of this satellite, and it's just like riding a stationary bike, and the Russians are like, oh my god, watch the Americans freak out about this.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a thumbs down because I think that there's already too much space garbage floating around out there, and satellites that they send up there just to follow other satellites. Bad.
Thumbs down for stalking. Stalking's bad.
Stalking's bad.
Somebody call the police.
Spying
Get a
on...
space restraining order.
Oh. Thumbs up for space restraining orders.
There you
like
go.
that. That's good.
Makes me feel safe in space.
Well, what you don't need a restraining order against is using a hammer to get more space in your hard drive.
That's how I tried it the first time.
So all you need to get more hard drive space is a little bit of hammer, which apparently is what Seagate is doing. HAMR, heat-assisted magnetic recording. They are finally releasing, it sounds like, some hard drives that have storage space up to 18 and 20 terabytes. And they're apparently going to hit the retail channels in 2020 using heat-assisted magnetic recording, which basically allows them to use material that they can control more accurately, but they have to heat it up first, and then they can flip the bit, and it's more stable than your standard recording media.
So it is a spinning disk, or is it solid state?
Spinning disk.
So it should be cheaper theoretically than solid state, but
Price per
not
gig,
necessarily
probably.
faster.
Correct. Yeah, these basically aren't going to be anything that's going to be fast. These are basically for like big storage guys. So how much storage can they fit into the smallest amount of space, basically? Basically, huge data farms. So if you got a 18 or 20 terabyte drive, you're going to be able to drop a handful of those into a server. Tons of terabytes, way you go.
The very last paragraph is the most important paragraph, in my opinion. It breaks down why they have to do this. Because like for those that aren't like super into like how hard drives, like spinning hard drives traditionally work, it uses a magnetic field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says the one thing, and it's on like this little seek head that floats above the platter as it spins really fucking fast. Says the one thing all these vendors agree on is the obsolescence of non-energy assisted PMR, magnetic recording. PMR densities are currently at about 1.1 TB per inch squared and are not expected to get much, if any, higher due to limitations imposed by the magnetic recording trilemma. You need the medium to be resistant to changes in magnetization for stability, yet your heads need to be able to overcome that resistance and in order to write to the medium. And the smaller the individual grains on the medium, the smaller the magnetic field your head can generate to change it without overlap, and therefore the weaker the field must get. So like it's like similar to the problem that processors are starting to encroach upon, which is if you get any smaller, you're just going to have electrons start tunneling from one side to the other.
They're too close together.
Right, stuff is too close together. So they're trying to do a paradigm shift on how some of this shit actually works.
Yeah, so essentially, because if you've got bits and they're all placed next to each other, the magnetic field to write a bit to the medium, you have to create a big enough field that if those bits are too close, you're going to affect the bits on either side.
Right, which would not be something that would be acceptable.
Right. So with the heat, they can lower the magnetic field, use a lower magnetic field with a little bit of heat, and just change the bit right at that spot. Because it doesn't require any energy necessarily to read the data, so they can pack as much together as they can to read it.
Yeah, this is interesting. Like, especially if this results in a huge jump in density on like what can be in a 3.5 inch, which it says blah 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 claims its HAMR medium will eventually allow for densities of 5 terabytes per inch or more, or per inch per square inch or more, making 70 to 80 terabyte 3.5-inch hard
That's
drives possible.
ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, they talk a little bit about some of the other technology they're using here, which I think some people have probably heard about in like big data with the shingling, where they can kind of overlap bits. But you basically cannot do any writing in the middle of those where those bits are written. So imagine just like your roof, you've got shingles, and the bits are basically laid one on top of the other, and it overlaps a little bit. And they can read that back just fine, but again, they can't write into that middle of that because you can't take a shingle off the middle of your house and put a new one in on top of it, and it just won't work.
I do it all the time.
I'm sure you do. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool technology. If they basically sounds like they're pretty dang close to getting this out for people to use, and I mean 70 to 80 terabyte 3.5-inch hard drives would be pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, eventually that'd be crazy. I mean, for reference, like the biggest stuff you can buy is like 16 to 20 terabytes right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So thumbs up for that. More data storage, cheaper. I like it.
I need cheaper, bigger data storage for sure.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Thumbs up.
I mean, what my biggest question is like, how much would an 80 terabyte cost? How much would and how fast would these drives allow me to read write? Like,
I mean, I wouldn't expect crazy differences in performance because the disk is
Well-
still rotating. So latencies are still.
but it still
Like,
could be fast
the
enough.
closer you can pack the data, the lower you can lower the latency, but the thing still has to
Right.
spin. It's not like an SSD where the access time is nearly instantaneous.
Sure, but like there are, I don't know, Western Digital Black, Western Digital Black spin disks are fast enough to edit off of.
Sure,
And
but
especially if you get enough
they
reads
also
into a
pale
RAID.
in comparison to the speeds of SSDs.
Oh yeah, no, definitely they do. But for my purposes, I could get away with that if, I get an array of, let's say, 4, and so I have it in RAID 10 or something like that, then I would be able to increase the speed enough and also have redundant backup. And I mean, 80 terabytes, that's going to take me at least another year or two to reach. Well, I don't know. How many terabytes am I at right now? Dropbox.
I mean,
I am using 73% of 42 terabytes. So, yeah. I mean, I could probably get a handful of these and do a RAID system or whatnot.
I would imagine that your performance is probably not going to be any worse on this than it would be on a standard disk today.
No, I'd expect
It's not going to be much better, but
I would expect latencies to be a little bit faster based on the
Yeah.
data density, but
Cool. Well, I will hold out for the price tag then. No pre-orders from Silas.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll be expensive when they first come out. I mean, especially if you're talking, if they're going to come out at the high end on the data size, they're going to be expensive. But price per
Oh, yeah.
terabyte or price per gigabyte, if you're looking at it that way, is probably still going to be significantly cheaper, I'd bet, than
Probably
solid
so.
state drives.
Oh yeah, most everything is.
So
Cool. Thumbs up for it, for the idea. Glad we got people thinking about this.
there you go. So anyway, what if you guys had to pick a way that a movie got shot? Would you prefer landscape mode or portrait mode?
45-degree angle.
Dope.
Nice. You get a little bit of the corners. Perfect.
It depends on where they're delivering it and where I'm anticipating watching this.
In a movie theater.
Then definitely landscape.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, a Russian director disagrees with you.
Nah, he doesn't disagree. He's just trying to get some publicity.
What's
probably
he gonna
gonna
do? Make a video all in dash cam?
He is going to make a
Prob-
video shot entirely in vertical video or portrait mode.
Okay.
This
Wow.
is
I'd go watch it.
No, screw this. Next topic. This is stupid.
I mean,
This is
what
the
is
dumbest fucking-
what is the movie topic? Is he just saying, I'm going to do
it
this?
It doesn't matter.
It's titled V2 Escape from Hell, the real-life story of a Soviet spy pilot who hijacks an aircraft to lead an escape from a German concentration camp.
People mess around with aspect ratios all the time to help tell their story better. And I would be interested to watch this if he was doing this intentionally to try and tell the story better. Now, if he's doing it just because he's like, I know people are going to watch this on their phone later, and I want them to be able to watch it on their phone without having to turn their phone sideways, then it is a completely worthless idea. But
it does sound like, yeah. It
if
sounds like
he's
he
doing
is making it for
That's all-
people, for phones. Yeah.
Okay, then it's I don't care. I'd still be interested to sit down and watch some of it. I'm not going to commit 2 hours to it unless
No.
it starts to actually intrigue me. But
Yeah, he says it is supposed to be short form type of original content, so I think it is made for smartphone viewers in mind.
so it's not going to the big screen.
No, does not sound like it.
Oh, then yeah, sure, go ahead. I think it's great. If he's making it specifically to only be watched on a phone,
Make up your mind.
what I'm saying is, I don't want him to say, let's make this so that eventually when it goes to somebody's phone, they can watch it without having to turn it sideways. if he's saying, I want to make this to only be viewed on a phone, all right, fine. Make
It reminds me a little bit
vertical.
of. I can't remember what the name of the company is, but there was a company that was basically doing both. So they had like an app for your phone, and you could watch videos, and you could watch the movie or show or whatever the video is in portrait mode, and then you could turn it your phone. If you rotated your phone 90 degrees, it would automatically like reformat itself to be in landscape.
Wow.
Sounds like a lot of post-production work there.
Probably, but it'd be kind of a cool. It would be kind of a cool feature because some people do watch their videos in portrait mode because that's how they hold on their phone, I guess.
Yeah, like the only way that I can think to do that is to have somebody go through and essentially re-edit the movie, because you'd have to reframe every shot.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they just take the original, not the original, the exported version, you would have to essentially do one of these around on the screen to find where the action is.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to miss stuff. I mean, you're missing stuff either way, but if it's filmed specifically for a phone and you're not missing any action on either side because they've specifically formatted it to look like this, I don't know.
I don't see the point. Thumbs down.
I still give it a thumbs down. I'm not sure I understand why.
I'm going to give it a thumbs down. I was just defending it a little bit from a filmmaker standpoint, but I don't like it.
Well, that's okay because
Matt, did you thumbs down it already?
I already closed the tab like 5 minutes ago.
That's right. You said it's over as soon as we started talking about it.
I don't even want to talk about this. Click.
Well, if you want to go to space in Iran, you can now buy your spacesuit at Walmart. Because Iran apparently tweeted that they uploaded the image to Twitter last week with the caption, astronaut costume, bright future.
Hashtag bright future.
Hashtag bright future. And,
I really feel like this is just an attack to try to discount a program that's trying to save money. Like
what?
Like, why are we making fun of the Iranian space program for just trying to save a buck by ordering the same shit that we order off of Amazon?
I mean,
Maybe we need to take a page out of their book and order our astronaut spacesuits from Sam's Club.
Genius.
Get him in bulk.
We could get a whole bunch of spacesuits from Sam's Club for a discount.
Hell yeah, you roll in,
For
get
a
them
party.
to bring it out on the pallet to your Chevy Silverado,
Your Silverado.
your Silverado, and just drive it straight.
That's nice
Florida.
Sam's mug. Sam's Club mug he got there. Silas.
Oh, this? Oh no,
Yeah.
This was a gift.
Maybe Iran is meeting
Costco
up
or
with
Sam's?
Amazon, and they're gonna wear these as they get yeeted to space on a giant whip.
Yeah, I don't.
There's a Walmart
This
in Iran.
is just funny.
Walmart's everywhere.
Oh, that's what I got.
Bright future indeed.
I like how some of the comments about the pictures are like they have even the little NASA logo is like
Yeah.
blocked out and.
Yeah, you can see it's either blocked out. Is it an edited photo or did they remove
I can't. Or did they just take like a piece of blue marker and color it?
it? Like yeah, or tape? Like it's hard to tell. You can definitely tell that is what was there though. The little square patch on the right hand side of the person, like if you're looking at it,
Yep.
is like okay, yeah, I could give you that. But the left one is absolutely damning. Like the circle with the little like NASA swoosh thing coming off and up to the right, like it's all there. It's so good.
See, in this article says that they founded a space program in 2004, but they have yet to send an astronaut into space, and that's because they buy their astronauts' spacesuits at Walmart.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Dang, somebody get these people some functional equipment.
The alleged
Looks
spacesuit
nice,
was
but it doesn't
actually a
keep the
$20
atmosphere
Halloween
out.
costume.
The problem probably was not that they couldn't get to space because of something else. They probably didn't have spacesuits, and then they just realized that they needed to launch somebody, and they ran to Walmart real quick and bought the nicest thing they could find.
What? We're gonna need suits when we get up there? Aww.
I give them a thumbs up for trying, I guess.
No. Thumbs down. This is something else. I like it.
Just down.
What is with the topics? This next one is also ridiculous.
Well, we're in, just weird shit now. So this is Mr. EDM, our buddy Elon Musk drops.
I give a thumbs down to that space costume because it was obviously a knockoff. Sorry, I didn't vote on that last one.
I thought you'd already moved on and we're rocking out to Mr. Musk.
I was.
Don't doubt your vibe. His new hot single that he released on SoundCloud. And my comment here is, why does SoundCloud suck so much that they can't put a volume control in their player?
Oh, you want the volume control to be in the player itself?
You have to go to the website.
You mean it's not in the embedded player?
It's not fucking anywhere.
It's not anywhere. You're right. I just went.
Wait, you can't change the volume on their website?
No.
There's no button for it.
Well, I mean, obviously because you want to listen to it at full volume.
At my full.
They don't want you
volume.
to experience.
Wait.
That.
Oh yeah, it's at the bottom of the page.
What?
Oh.
The bottom of the page is just comments.
No, it's like
The bottom of the screen.
Oh, the little thingy. I see.
Oh.
It's not
Okay.
in the embedded one, though, right?
No, it's not
does
in the
not look
embedded
like.
one.
Huh.
I'm not seeing
there
it
we
there.
This is
Okay.
gotta be.
Oh, I
the-
like it better with the sound turned down.
I like it better off. That's pretty good, Brian.
Pretty
I
close.
like that.
This
pretty close.
song sucks.
I don't. Did you listen to the whole thing?
Yes.
Wow.
Somebody said I just shit my pants. Watching the comments pop up.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to think about how, if you look at this, the graph. Is this technically a spectrograph? I don't really. Like it's pretty solid, like across the top. Like there's a bar cutting it off. Like, is it just maxed out?
I have no idea what that bar means, to be honest. Is that the number
So,
of comments at each second?
No. I mean, like, you kind of see how it's like if you drew a straight line across the top,
Yeah.
like it's chopped. Like, is it like clipping the sound? Like how loud it is? Like it's too much.
No, it just means that
I
they
don't know.
use compression.
Oh.
They use compression across it, so they're able to say we are maxing it. So it's kind of clipping because they, I don't know, they've started moving that way with music so that they keep the volume very, very consistent all the way across. Especially
Well, I mean,
the
it is
EDM.
really. It is really annoying to have one song be one volume and then the next one blow your fucking ears out.
Yeah. So they always try to reach 0, or like right at -1 or something. But like the recommended volume level is actually -6, and the only people who pay attention to that is Iowa Public Radio. So, and other college campuses that are required to do that stuff.
Getting back to the song, it sucks.
Somebody said to Mars.
I'm not sure
This
if
is on.
this is really Musk's best use of his time.
Huh.
No, I don't think so.
What is this song?
Huh.
It's
say thumbs
3.13 million listens, though, way more than any of my songs.
I'm going to go back to listening to Whip It.
To whip it, yes.
Here's the deal. I think I could stomach this without the lyrics.
It's just a techno.
Like
The
it doesn't really
lyrics do mess
stand
up.
it doesn't really stand out or fall behind anything that is just so generically middle of the road. it's like once you add on the lyrics that are talking about don't doubt in your vibe, I'm not entirely, I'm not on board with that. I don't really understand what it means. I don't understand, like, a lot of EDM songs have like just like this like one weird phrase that they fucking repeat and shit like that. But I don't know. It's just weird. Yes, you're right. This doesn't seem like the best use of his time, but who am I to say what he should be doing with his time? Like, do what you fucking want.
I mean, I'll throw it out here. If Elon Musk wants to be on the CouncilCast to come and defend his music
Yeah, you
and
show
or
up and let me know. Like, and to be clear, I don't hate it. I just don't understand why it exists.
Mr. Musk, if you want to come join us and explain to all of our CouncilCast viewers why this song has to exist, we'd love to have you on. Email us councilcast@gmail.com.
Not gonna lie, this shit be fucking bumping.
Wait, have any of you listened to the song High yet?
Like, high all the time.
like on something.
Ah,
Might help.
Oh, no.
now it makes sense.
I get it.
I have no idea. Either way, thumbs down. That song sucks, Musk.
I also give this a thumb down. Do not. No.
He was probably on the same drugs he was when he made that truck.
Oh, I forgot he did the R.I.P. Harambe
Yes.
one 10 months ago.
Yeah, I thought he did another song.
Yeah.
This
we talked
already,
about it on
this
the CouncilCast.
this video already has more plays than it, and comments, and the R.I.P. Harambe came out 10 months ago.
That was also a pretty terrible song. All right. Well, I think we're going to move on to our Elon Musk pitches on things he should be doing other than creating more EDM music.
But
Yeah, if you're trying to figure out how to spend your time, Mr. Musk, I have a pitch for you. The easy, obvious one is don't make any more music. But I feel like I want to also give you something active to do with your time if you're not making that music. So I would like to see you come up with your own version of an iPad type thing. But I would really like it to actually have like electronic paper, right? So you have like your little portfolio, padfolio or whatever. You close it, you open it up, and inside there's paper, and you can write on it. You can kind of flip through some actual physical pages, but it's computer screens, okay? But it's like actual paper, but it's also computers. I feel like there's something there. So you could keep notes on one page. You could, and like it has a stylus that's way better than an Apple Pencil or any of those other ones. I want it to actually write on the screen and then like convert it to text. Like I just want it to kind of be like old meets new, you know.
So, would you write? Are you actually do you get more? What happens to the paper? Is it paper a screen?
It's a screen. Let's say you have like 5 to 10 pieces of paper, so you can kind of do different things on them, and then you have an easy erase button somewhere.
Okay, so it's kind of
or maybe
like
no button, just like encoded in there or something.
Okay, so it's not like actual paper, like you're physically writing on it. It's
right. You don't have to replace the sheets.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
But you can write stuff on it, but then you also have like maybe a built like into the pad. You also have like a keyboard built in or something. So it's kind of like this very business oriented thing. And you can take it to meetings and type, or you have your pen to write, but it kind of has different, you can be like, oh, and on this page, you can like just go right to it. You have some stuff set up there.
Yeah, I like that. I actually like this idea. I'm imagining like a notebook with like some e-ink paper pages, and you can like take your notes on e-ink paper, and then it like saves them and digitizes them.
Yep, that's exactly it.
I give it a thumbs up. I think it's a pretty sweet idea.
Yes. Musk,
I
work
would-
on that. Stop making music.
I would totally buy one of those. It'd be also awesome if it did
Thumbs up.
OCR
pretty cool.
and could like make your handwriting searchable.
Yes, I have always wanted that. Like that seems way more useful than whatever the hell this stupid ass song was.
Don't they make like pens that you can use to write
Yes.
on the?
But you write on paper,
Yeah.
and then you're killing trees, and it's not very.
Yeah, a lot of
environmentally
them, they're not very good, and a lot of them still require you to like take pictures of the notebook when you get done.
Yeah.
To do the OCR.
There was one that I had a while ago, and it was like, oh, it remembered it. The pen was recording the information, so you plug the pen in, and then it digitized what you had written from the pen,
Mm-hmm.
but it
That's like
never
the light
typed it up.
scribe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But it didn't type it up, and it wasn't very good at recognizing my handwriting. So.
I like it. That's a pretty good idea. All right. Anybody else have any other ideas?
Yeah, he's got the car figured out, and he, of course, clearly has the truck figured out. I would like him to make some sort of motorcycle that, goes forever on a battery. I think that'd be kind of cool.
So
Forever?
electric?
Yeah, an electric motorcycle
Electric
that.
motorcycle.
You're asking
has a
for
great
a
distance.
forever motorcycle battery.
Well, not forever. I mean, not as long as the
Yes.
whip.
No, go back.
Uh,
Just start at the beginning. Say you want a forever motorcycle battery. Make.
I
Musk
want a
work on that.
forever motorcycle battery.
I can respect that. No compromise.
I buy it. I charge it once, and
And
I
No,
try
it-
forever.
It comes charged.
It comes
Yeah.
charged. For
So
crying out loud, I don't
this-
even have to use electricity of my own. It already comes Elon Musk charged.
I'd normally say that this is a ridiculous request, but I only know you make requests that you think people can fulfill.
It's my firm grasp of technology that makes this interesting.
It really is.
hmm
I
I haven't
thumbs
disconnected
up to
from
the
this in a
forever
long time.
battery.
I like the forever battery on a motorcycle. It doesn't work on anything else.
Man, Duracell is going to go so out of business.
It's probably going to be a Samsung battery, and after a while, it just blows up.
Or the Energizer.
Yeah,
Is he gonna? Are you proposing that he builds it like on Rick and Morty when they have he creates that whole galaxy with people who live on a planet who step on boxes for a living?
Are you talking about the one where he creates an infinite energy device and then he goes inside it and that society just created their own infinite energy device with people inside it?
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, that one's real good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He's all pissed off. He's like, "You can't do this."
Yeah.
I don't know, Rick. That's kind of just what you did.
Yeah, make one of those, Elon.
I think that would work.
I mean,
why
it's
not?
already been proven to work on
Rick and Morty.
So I think he has these electric cars, and I think that electricity could probably be used for a lot of other things. And so what I would propose that he does is that he adds to his Teslas an electric shocker that you can use to push other cars out of the way. So it's kind of like an electric prod, like an electric cattle prod type of thing. And since it's an electric car, electric shocker, I mean, I think it would work.
Sure, why not?
So it's gonna be on
I
the
think
front
that
of the
would be-
car, and you drive into stuff, you shock it
Yeah.
to get it out of the way.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Sounds great.
Why not?
I like
Sign me
that.
up. Can I retrofit it?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I like it.
Has to be able to be retrofit.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
Okay.
Just
You got anything, Matt?
No.
No. Okay. Just that it's retrofitable.
Yep. That's
Okay.
important to me.
The most important. All right. Well, I think with that, we're going to call this council meeting adjourned. We do want to thank everybody for listening. We record this podcast live Tuesday nights on YouTube. If you want to know what time we do record this at, good luck.
Too fucking
'cause,
bad.
It's a secret. But if you can find us on YouTube on Tuesdays,
Sometime between 8 and whenever we get around to it.
Hold on, let me go see if we're on. Let's see if anyone's leaving comments tonight.
I'm
doubt
sure
it.
they definitely are not.
Also,
Here we
don't
go.
care.
But
to-
if this is the first time you've been on the CouncilCast and you liked what you saw or heard and want to check out all of our past episodes, you can go to councilcast.org or search iTunes or your favorite podcatcher for the CouncilCast. And if you do have a topic you would like our decision on, you can email us at councilcast@gmail.com or check us out on Twitter at RealCouncilCast. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Matthew Christopher says it killed the people in the car.
That definitely would not happen.
Good Lord, Matt. Get
Kill
some
the
Way I
people-
better
spend my
degrees.
Tuesday night.
Does it kill the people in the car?
Good night.
The only
First of
way I
all,
spend my
I
Tuesday
believe I
nights.
said we don't care if anyone comments.
Oh, I do.
Matt,
what are
if
we
you're
doing?
still listening, hang up.
Discharging the whole battery at once?
Well, I mean, it's a forever battery, so.
The Forever battery was for the motorcycle, not for the car with the zapping. Right.
we don't need perpetual forever zap.
You know, can we block the listeners?
Man, I hope so. Yeah, you could block a YouTube account from yours.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's
That's
awesome.
just we'll take that under advisement. But it's really not us that needs to care, it's Elon. So
All right.
so
With that,
you're holding your thumb up. What's the deal?
Thumbs up for this episode.
all right. Thanks, and goodbye.
Man.